Hi there folks, welcome back to RRTV's live coverage of the Skip Barber Monday Lights. We're coming to you live from Phillip Island tonight for round 3, and I tell you what Alex, we've got a huge field once again tonight.
Absolutely, Bernie. Great to be back here again at the great Phillip Island circuit tonight. One of the most famous of Australian circuits, of course. Probably more famous for the motorcycles than the skippies, of course, but certainly a famous Australian track and a great one to drive in a skippy. But you're right, mate. The field tonight is incredible. We've got a 17-car field, and the strength of the field, as in the skill rating of the drivers combined, is just over 3,942, Bernie. So once again, puts us right up there with all the premier races of the world this week. We're actually sitting number 3 this week, and again, another fantastic springboard for the local and international drivers who turn up here each week to have a crack at the official season, Bernie.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm always gobsmacked when every week as we see this go from strength to strength. You can see the guys out there at the moment, they're qualifying. You can see Kevin Henderson out there. He was in the booth with me last night, and it's great to see him running. He's sitting in 17th at the moment, and he's made the top split.
Yeah, he's worked hard to get back regularly in the top split. Of course, car number 17 tonight is actually Kevin Henderson. He's just snuck in, Bernie. His I rating's currently at 3,197. So, again, you know, you've got to be close to 3,200 just to make this field, to crack it for a run, Bernie. But Kevin's made it clear that he wants to finish on the podium for the Monday Night Lights Championship, Bernie. And to do that, of course, you've got to finish well in the top split. And Kevin's got the pace to do so. It's just a matter of how he's going to hold up against this high-quality field, Bernie.
Yeah, well, he was, as he was commentating last night, he said he preferred to be in the booth last night because he had a really good quality field in the Australasian Super Skips. But I tell you what, I think we've got just as high a quality here tonight, that's for sure. You can see Enzo Cantor, he's taken provisional pole at the moment. Then we've got Alex Ardesana sitting in second. Hakon Grebstad, he's in third at the moment and sporting a different livery. Oh, I like that. I like his livery. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just going to... Oh, look at that. At least you won't forget who he is, right?
That's right. He's on the screen all night now. Timu Vuskalampi in fourth position. And then we've got Ben Snell topping out our top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. If you're talking about the high-quality liveries, I just get you to take a quick glance at Andrew Welter, who's he's also sporting a similar livery tonight, Bernie. He's normally got the Andrew Welter livery on tonight, but he's again gone out, and obviously the two of them are trying to crack some airtime, I'd suggest, Bernie.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if I'm imagining it or not, but there's a lot of cars with this on them at the moment out there, so maybe I'm using the new trading paint, so there might be a problem. But
no, I think they've all gone out. I see Timu Vuskalampi there, Ben Snell, a few of the boys in the top split Discord server. It looks like they've gone out together and come up with a scheme to try and get the most airtime.
Yeah, well, they'll all get the same amount of airtime, and Timu's also got his nice, pretty smiley face on there as well, so that sort of underlines it all. But yeah, I'm lost for words here.
Well, it's nice to have the tribute, the recognition of your hard work, Bernie, because even the Team Milo driver in the field, Russell Clark, who's currently sitting down in the top 10. After he's finished his second lap, he's gone out and support as well, Bernie. So it looks like you're making an impact, if nothing else.
Fantastic. Tell you what, I'm going to make a new screensaver tonight and put them all on there. So.
Well, if only they'd qualified sequentially on the grid, that'd make for a perfect shot, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. And I know what's going on the trophy case. But anyway, you can see Sam Katakazinos is out there once again tonight in the top split again, sitting in 17th, yet to put in a fast lap.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to have a crack at qualifying. Of course, only just under a minute and a half remaining. He doesn't have any time to set any laps. I'm not sure if he binned it or not, although he does look like he's out there trying to set a time, I beg your pardon. So he may just have picked up an incident point, discounting his first lap. He's with just over that minute to go, he's still got a chance just to set a time to see where he finishes up in this extraordinary field, Bernie.
Yeah, definitely. And it was his birthday yesterday. Was it yesterday or today?
I think it might have been today, so big shout out to Sam,
Yeah, he's a total of 75 years old, folks. And not so bad for a bloke, is he, driving the
doesn't look a day over 80, Bernie.
No, exactly right. And he drives like a 9. No, he doesn't actually. He drives a hell of a lot better than me, so I'm not even going to put the sledge on him.
No, he's got the pace on me to let it be known. So good luck to Sam. I hope he gets a good result for his birthday and it makes that cake taste extra sweet tonight.
Yeah, exactly right. I reckon all the drivers should pull over and let him win tonight, just in honour. What do you think?
Yeah, not a bad idea. I'm not sure many would take you up on the offer, Bernie, but anyway, Sam has gone over the line now and set a time. He's only managed quick enough for 16th at this stage, Bernie, and with just the 5 seconds remaining in qualification, I'd suggest he's not going to set another time.
Yeah, and at the moment, Luke Whitten's, he's coming in 5th. So let's have a look at our grid, folks, before we get into this. And you can see where your favourite driver will start tonight. So starting from pole position is Enzo Cantor. He set a 1:45.374. Andrew Welter, he'll start out a second tonight. Alex Artisana out of third. Fourth, we've got Hakon Grebstad, and then Luke Whitten out of 5th. Out of 6 is Caesar Amengod, followed by Timu Vascalampi in 7th. 8th, Kevin Henderson. 9th, Ben Snell. 10th is Russell Clark. Out of 11th tonight is Borja Zazo, followed by Colin Sudi in 12th. Sergio Hidalgo in 13th. 14th, Carlos Sainz. 15th, David McDonald. Out of 16th is Sam Katakazinos, and then rounding out our field of 17 tonight, Benjamin Soko.
Yeah, great to see Benjamin Soko in there. He's made it known he'd like to finish in the top 5 or so this season for the Monday Night Lights Championship. Of course, for those of you that don't know or aren't familiar with us, down here in the Monday Night Lights, we take the point score, the results from the top 4 splits that are run tonight. Of course, this track's so popular, there were 5 splits tonight, and we attribute points to the top 12 finishes in each split. And over the course of the official season, we run our own little championship. So the guys here tonight in the top split get the most points, and plenty of them up for grabs, Bernie.
Yeah, there certainly are, and we can see them now taking to the grid. We're under starters orders here at Phillip Island. The revs will be rising 15 laps. And let's see how they go. It's normally, we're away here at Phillip Island for round 3. Nice clean start by everybody. Enzo looks like he's a bit slow off the line as he now covers across. And yeah, nice clean start here.
Absolutely. Fantastic to see Andrew Welter, young Australian driver, pushing Enzo hard into turn 1 for the first time, Bernie, as they go through Dern Corner, down into the Southern Loop, turn 2 here. Really tricky corner. A lot of the quick guys here will double apex the Southern Loop here at turn 2 as they hit the second part of it now. The leaders all got through pretty cleanly. I don't see any action. Oh, there's a bit of action at the back. Sergio and Colin, by the looks, in conjunction with Carlos, might have had an incident, Bernie.
Okay, we'll jump back and have a look at that shortly. But at the moment, Enzo Cantor on the inside defending, Andrew on the outside. Alex is now diving in and looks like he may take second away from Andrew. Great move there.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. He's got through cleanly there as they're heading around to the back part of the circuit now. Just been through Siberia by the looks, heading out the back through turns 7 and 8. Interesting part of the circuit, of course. Well known to Australian fans. Oh no, I beg your pardon, I'm a bit behind. Sorry, Bernie.
You're a bit behind.
No, they're heading up. I think I might have even had the right part of the circuit. So they're up through Lukey Heights now, Bernie, and a really fascinating part of the section. Nice downhill run, hard braking zone. Tough to get a pass done here, but still possible. But again, a couple of the well liveried up cars here tonight. The RRTV specials running 3rd, 4th and 5th, Bernie.
Yeah, we need to get them 1, 2, 3 on the podium tonight. That'd be fantastic. But at the moment, Enzo Cantor, Alex Artisana's leading Andrew Welter. Andrew's having a great start here tonight. Hakon, he's sitting right behind him though in 4th, and then Luke, he's rounding out our top 5.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. Great to see Andrew Welter up fighting for the top the steps on the podium, Bernie. Young driver, as we said. He hasn't been quite on his normal pace here this week. Oh, we've a bit of a touch there. Alex has run in, just clip the back of Enzo slightly and run wide through turn 1 there, Bernie, into the southern loop now. He seems to have collected up. It's really, really well done there by Alex, although a bit of a slight mistake there on the run through there, Bernie.
Yeah, he was pretty good going there, gathering it up. He's dropped back into 4th, right behind Huck on there, and Luke Whitten now under pressure heaved by Caesar, and Caesar's looking on the outside. I don't think that's going to work.
No, tough to get it done around the outside, although if you manage to pinch the guy there through Honda corner, you can get the inside run into Siberia that they're going through at the moment. You can get the move done, but tough to do there. But again, Hocon up in 3rd position, getting under pressure from Alex now. He's trying to get back up to the front, obviously, after that earlier mistake. He's been very quick here all week, but and very strategic in his racing, so he'll be one to watch along with Andrew and Enzo up front, Bernie.
Yeah, and further back here, we're having a look at Kevin Henderson, Borja Zazo, Ben Snell, all going at it here. Ben actually had 2 wheels off the circuit there as Kevin overtook him, and look who's coming now, David McDonald.
Yeah, David McDonald now hunting out. Great to see him back in the series. Made quite a few visits to us down here last season. You'll see Borja really putting pressure up through the final corner onto the Gardner Straight as they head through right in behind Kevin here. You can't afford to be too close because you don't get the full run on the main straight of the draft. They're going 3. They're going to try and make this 4 wide, Bertie. This is going to be an interesting run into turn 1. David McDonald getting the run. Can he hang on to it? You've got to get it just right, hanging on the outside. Any touch of the dust there and you're likely to cause a big pile up. He's done well, Bertie.
They went 4 wide at one point after that. I've got that feeling, the feeling in your bones you get. I've got that with this at the moment, and Sam Katakazinos, he's joining the party.
Yeah, Sam's made the best of that as well. He's pipped in front of Kevin Henderson with Russell Clark now, looking to put pressure as well, looking to hold that draft on what will be the outside now as they head into Honda corner. Again, 2 and 3 wide heading into Honda corner. Who's that around the outside? That's Ben Snell trying to hang on to it as the guys. They're really trying hard to make it work here, aren't they, Bertie?
They certainly are. Now we've got Sam on the outside of David McDonald here, and what's going on up front. It's they're spread out a little bit, driving a little bit more less recklessly.
Sedately, yeah. It's certainly all happening. Look at that. Sam Katagazinos, the Bertho boy, making the runnings of it now as a head up over Lukey Heights. I reckon he's made four spots up on that lap alone, Bernie. What a great run from Sam.
Yeah, he's up to 8s now, isn't he? And making inroads, and now he'll see if he can drop some of these guys behind him. Timu Vescalampi is the next one, but there's a huge gap there, probably around about 1, maybe 2 seconds that Sam would have to make up to join that front pack.
Yeah, Borja Zazo's just ducking into the pits, Bernie. I'm not sure what happened to him that lap, but he's picked up enough damage to warrant going into the pits, and that's sort of left Sam, Ben Snell and Kevin Henderson looking like they've got a bit of a gap from those other guys behind, Bernie. That'll certainly calm the nerves a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, we just saw Andrew Welter there going off 2 wheels back on the grass. That's not going to calm the nerves, but he's gathering it up again. But here comes Alex on the back of Hakon once more, and he's trying to recover from that off he had previously.
Yeah, looks like both Hawkon and Andrew are taking defensive lines into the Honda hairpin there, Bernie, and again, Alex trying to make it work around the outside. He looks like he's got better drive out of there, and will get the inside running into Siberia, Bernie, and look, he's got that job done. We were talking about it just before. Hawkon leaving the door open there for Luke Whitten. They want to get that sorted out. They don't want to fight too hard here and lose that front pack, Bernie. Yeah,
as they go side by side, they're coming up to Lukey Heights here now. Got Luke on the outside, Hakon on the inside. Luke should get the undercut as they go over the top of Lukey Heights. Is Hakon going to hold him out? Looks like he's going to.
Yeah, he's been left out to dry there. Really hard to get good drive out there, Bernie. You're worried about getting a toe on the grass on the outside of Lukey Heights there, Bernie. It's nothing but death out there, unfortunately, but that's a great move by Luke. Not only has he got the position, but he's managed to hang on to the front pack.
Yeah, exactly right, because he needs to hang on to that pack, doesn't he? And at the moment, we've got the stretched right out, and I I know in cycling, when you see the peloton stretched out that much, the pace is on. I guess it's similar in Skip Barber racing.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. There'll be guys, although they're 7 deep in this front pack, to be honest, there'll be guys here like Timo Vascalampi, who's sitting in P7 at the moment on the back of this pack. As again, it looks like Andrew Welter hanging on as he puts 2 wheels on the grass on the outside of turn 1 as they head through the southern loop. Again, Bernie, he'll be Timo Vascalampi back in P7. He'll be hanging on for grim death, making sure he doesn't drop this front pack, because if he loses the draft, it'll be game over, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly will. And Alex Adesanya also put 2 wheels off, and he's now coming under pressure from Hakon, who's actually trying on the outside under brakes. We've got Caesar behind him, and it's all going off here tonight, folks, at Phillip Island, and you can see how hard these guys are pushing. They're using every inch of the track they can find.
Absolutely, Bernie. Håkon there trying to do what Luke did to him the previous lap, not quite getting it to work, and it's actually compromised his run out. You'll see Caesar now on the outside. He's using the draft of Alex in front of him, and Håkon now again going to try and do what Luke did to him the previous lap, try and duck up the inside as they head over Lukey Heights now. Looks like he's going to get it done, although he could be under attack as they head into turn 10 here, this tight first gear right-hander. Now he's managed to make it work around the outside, and again these guys still able to hold on to the leading draft, but as they do that, they haven't quite lost the draft, but as you say, they're spreading out the pack a little bit as they try to promote themselves up the order and try and get up near the front guys. But at the same time, those front guys will be cheering, because all the battling that goes on, the more chance they've got of getting away. As now we see Alex in P4 dropping back to nearly a second behind Andrew Welter in P3, Bernie.
And here comes Luke Whitten on the outside into turn 1. It looks like Andrew's going to back out of this and let them go. Luke's 4 wheels off on the grass, pulls it back in, and it looks like he's still going to hold on to second position.
Tell you what, there's a few people making that, dare I say, very outside line of turn 1 on the grass their work tonight. They've got to be careful, because Enzo's looking to make the best of this and try and get away if he can. He's leading from the front, has led every lap so far of this and last week's races, and you've got to be careful, because if you give him too much of his head, he'll run away with it, Bernie.
He certainly will, and I tell you what, he's probably reliving last week's race, because that was too close to call as well, and this is pretty much the same once again tonight. We saw him try to do a little Enzo wiggle last week. I reckon we're going to see maybe the same if he's still leading this at the end of 9 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. There's good potential for it, Bernie, but you got to remember, coming out of that final corner, turn 12 onto the Gardner Straight, it is possible, if you get the right run, to draft past the guy on the line. We've seen some incredibly close finishes this week, Bernie, and Enzo will have that in mind, and I have no doubt in saying that if the wiggle's on, it might be a bit further over the line this week.
Yeah, I'd say so. But looking back at Sam Catagazinos, it looks like these guys have finished having their little birthday party and they're settled down a bit. Kevin's leading Sam, then we've got Ben Snell behind him. David McDonald has dropped quite a ways back with Benjamin Soko and Russell Clark in 13th position. The drivers that have found trouble out there tonight, Alex, Borja Zazo has had to take to the pit, so did Carlos Sainz, as well as Colin Sudi.
Yeah, shame to see Colin having to take to the pits on his return to Monday Night Lights. We haven't seen him for the better part of a season, to be honest. Very quick local driver. I'd love to see more of him on the track here on a Monday night, but unfortunate night for him tonight.
Yeah, he's got caught up in something. I did see he had a few off tracks on the first lap, so he's got caught up in the action. But meanwhile, up here we've got Enzo Cantor, Luke Whitten now on the inside under brakes. Enzo deep, gets it a bit squirrely, and Luke's going to pounce on that, and he makes that move stick by the looks of it.
Yeah, Enzo will have another look through as they head through Siberia now. Turn 6, of course, here, Bernie. Enzo trying up the inside. Oh, they get a little netcode touch there. That's on the front wheel to rear wheel, and Enzo might have picked up some damage out of that, Bernie, I suggest. His rear wheel's looking a little bit pushed in. That suspension damage could be hurting him. I think the wing looks okay, Bernie, but hopefully that hasn't affected his run too much. But fantastic to see Luke's made the running up front, Bernie.
Yeah, and we were riding with Andrew Welter there, and when they had that little bit of a touch, Enzo backed it right out. Luke had two wheels on the grass as well, and he let him go at that point, so good sportsmanship there.
Yeah, they're really pushing hard though. It's great to see Luke really pushing hard for the win. I've raced up quite a bit with Luke actually, and I've seen him be patient's not the right word, because it suggested he might not be patient now, as we see Enzo pull up on the pit side of the Gardner Straight now as they head down into turn 1 on lap 8 now, Bernie. Luke tucking in just behind with Andrew Welter and Alex Artisana making this lead pack of 4. But I've noticed in recent weeks Luke Whitten's really pushing a lot harder to go for these wins in these big races. He's really chasing the high soft points that are on offer here, and I'm really pleased to see him pushing so much harder, Bernie.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? And Luke's still making his name for himself out there on the world scene as far as Skip Barber racing goes, and this would have to be his home event for strength of field races anyway.
Yeah, that's right. The only other one I think we visit Australia this time is the final round when we go to Bathurst, the home of all racing in Australia, of course. So I expect that to be a massive week as well. But certainly a massive week tonight, as we've still got this front pack of 7, Bernie. A lot of red and black cars out there sporting the RRTV livery, which is fantastic to see. Hawkon, I thought, might have been dropped there in P5, but he's managed to climb on the back of this pack again. Andrew Welter dropped down to 4th position now as Alex Artisana again trying to carve his way back through the field after that early off.
Yeah, and if we're looking at the fastest lap so far, folks, it's set by Alex Artisana. His time was a 1:44.757, so not too bad a pace out there tonight.
Yeah, very quick. It's track conditions tonight are about 37 degrees on track, Bernie. So those of you tuned in for the Australasian Super Skips last night, we saw Miko Nassi drop down into the 143s, but that was on a 22 degree track, Bernie. So very much more grip out there last night than there is tonight. But these times in the 144s, as you say, Bernie, are really outstanding. Once again, speaking to the quality of this field, as once again Luke takes the lead from Enzo Kander into turn 1 as they head through the southern loop on lap 9, Bernie.
Yeah, 6 laps to go here. Timu Vascalampi must have heard us, because he just set a new fastest lap, and that is 1:44.677, and Timu's down there in 6th place behind Hakon Grebstad at the moment.
Yeah, Hawkon sitting in 5th on the tail of this lead pack, with Timu now closing back up under brakes, and again Caesar again making it a pack of 7. This is outstanding racing, Bernie. You see quite a bit of this here this week with the front packs, or packs amongst the field more broadly, racing tightly together throughout the race, but eventually, as you know, the laps wind down, and the pace and the heat and the action winds up. So be interesting to see if this top 7 all make the finish line in one piece, Bernie.
Yeah, well, the added risk they've got is we've got a lot of drivers from all over the world here racing toe-to-toe, and when that happens, netcode can sometimes be an issue. Hopefully it won't be. We haven't seen it yet tonight, but which, just goes to show the quality of the driving as well.
Yeah, 100% right, Bernie, there. We've seen a couple of little phantom nudges, but nothing on the high scale as far as latency and netcode is concerned, as we see Enzo now looking to maximise the draft up the Gardner Straight once again into turn 1, just pulling to the pit lane side once again to try and get the racing line, as Luke just trying to make his way in behind without and keep Alex Artisana out to the outside of turn 1, Bernie. Alex Artisana still having quite a good run. Luke compromised his line a little bit, but manages to hang on to 2nd as they head through the southern loop, Bernie.
And one thing Enzo has proven here, he came from 2nd onto Gardner Straight there, and he ended up passing Luke Whitten on the line, and the gap was 0.02 of a second. So he can still win, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, you're right, Bernie. Very, very tight. Oh, did I just hear an engine go in the background, or was that big contact? Hakon Grobstad, he's on the outside of the entry into turn 4 there. Not sure what happened. Yeah, he got hit in the rear, actually. I'm just trying to see who collected him, Bernie.
Yeah, we've got the replay up here now, Alex.
Yeah, Timo Vascalampi just unfortunately misjudged his braking mark, left his run a bit late, probably looking at Caesar on his inside and trying to defend that position. He's just gone into the rear of Hawthorn and pushed him onto the outside. That's very unfortunate for Timo and Hawthorn. Looks like Timo's waited to redress that though, Bernie. Great sportsmanship.
Yeah, so that'll drop them from the front pack. But meanwhile, up here we've got Enzo. Oh, Enzo's around.
Oh, big incident there as they headed on to the penultimate corner there, Bernie. Luke Whitten and Enzo involved there. Just going to take a quick look at it now. We were just talking about the netcode monster there. There was probably 2 to 3 tyre widths between them, Bernie, and it looks like someone shot the back of Enzo's car out of a cannon. It spun out that quickly, Bernie, and he's just gone in and then collected Luke as a result. I'm just trying to see if anyone's been caught up, anyone else. Yeah, Alex Artisana caught up. A little bit of contact between Caesar and Andrew Welter, but it looks like the big winner out of that potentially is Andrew Welter, Bernie.
Yeah, we're having a look at the replay now, folks. Apologies that we lost picture there, but we'll have a look at this and we'll go back live.
Yeah, are you looking at the replay or live at the moment?
Replay, yeah, just seeing the net code there with Luke Whitten, as you said, Alex Artisana also being involved in that incident.
Yeah, real shame for the guys there. I think they were driving and they were going to make that corner nice and cleanly, to be honest, but netcode got them in the end, which is a real shame. The guys up front now, Bernie, Andrew Welter leading his first Monday Night Light event, looking to make a fist of it with just the balance of 4 laps remaining.
Yeah, and it looks like Alex got away with that. It doesn't look like he's got any damage at all to the front of his car, even though he did go into the side of Enzo there.
Yeah, I concur. I just had a quick look at his car there, and he looks to have done pretty well. So it's funny, sometimes netcode can work against you. Other times you can drive straight through the middle of a car and come off scot-free, as was the case there for Alex. So, it was still with a front pack of 4. I'm just going to take a quick look at the front of Luke's car, which might have copped a bit. Yeah, he's got a bit of wing damage, but it looks to be holding pretty straight. Certainly the car seems to be driving true. So I'm just looking at the gyro cam. I don't know if you've had a look, Bernie, but there's a lot of love for RRTV out there.
Yeah, I really appreciated it, that's for sure. And I'm all choked up here up in the booth. Can you get me a tissue?
As they cross the line now with 3 laps remaining, this front pack of 7 has become a front pack of 4 with Alex now taking the lead. Caesar Armengod looking on the outside as they head through the southern loop for lap 12. Now with Luke Whitten trying to make the best of what I hope is a straight car, sitting in 4th, Bernie.
Yeah, he's carrying a little bit of rear wing damage, a little bit of front wing damage. So you've driven around here last night, of course. How does this circuit, how does a car get affected when you're carrying that sort of damage on a track like this?
Oh, well, as I think you mentioned last night's broadcast, it's really a strong flowing and momentum-based track, as this car tends to be anyway, but this track seems to accentuate it. It's not terribly many really heavy braking zones down into turn 10 and then again into turn 4. Your 2 big braking zones, so you really want to have momentum, and the long sweeping corners, if you've got any suspension damage in the rear and the rear just looking to step out as you get off throttle here even more than it does normally, it makes it really challenging to keep on pace. So depending on how Luke's going at the moment, carrying that rear suspension damage as it looks like he might have, he'll be looking to do a mix of hang on with the draft as best as he can to hold on to 4th position, and if he does have the pace, of course, looking to move forward, but if he doesn't, just hang on and see what he can make of it, Bernie.
Yeah, and it looks like we're riding with him at the moment. Looks like he's dealing with a lot of front-end push coming out of the corners at the moment, and we saw that over Lukey Heights. He had it turned in and it was just pushing like a shopping trolley.
Yeah, which remarkably tends to happen when you get rear suspension damage. The steering goes at 45 degrees from rear suspension damage, which to me seems counterintuitive, but it just seems to be how the damage model works in these cars. As they head around now on lap 13 of 14, Bernie, the penultimate lap, fantastic again to see Andrew Welter leading the race as he takes a defensive line as they head down into the turn 4 Honda hairpin there, and Alex Artisana holding station, perhaps having a little look 3 wide. They're trying to make it work yet again, Bertie. Andrew Welter again holding off Alex Artisana there and looking to make the inside running through Siberia this lap time, Bernie.
Yeah, so we're definitely getting down to the final couple of laps here, folks, and the birthday boy, well, his presents are starting to be opened. He's up to 6th position now, racing against Hakon for 5th position. He's got Timu behind him, and we better not jinx him because he might find he won't get to eat his cake.
Well, that's a tight train, isn't it? David McDonald also on the back of that pack, Bernie. Nice pack of 4 there. Sam looking up the inside as they head around Lukey Heights again. He's been forced a bit wide there and coming under threat by Timo Vascalampi, although Sam will have the tight run into turn 10, Bernie, and looks to make the best of it. Back up front, though, we've got Luke Wittenseal sitting on the back of Caesar, Alex and Andrew Welter running up front as they cross the line now, and the white flag shows, Bernie.
You can see now Alex getting a run. Look at the gap there. That's, what is that, 0.001? Okay, what is that? Is that 1,000th of a second?
001 is a 1,000th indeed, Bernie. Yeah. So Alex has made the run through probably your primary passing opportunity at turn 1. Your next best spot is coming up once they get out of the southern loop and through Stoner Corner. They'll be heading down into turn 4 hairpin. Be interested to see the line that Alex takes. No doubt it'll be to the right-hand side, driver's right, taking the defensive line into turn 4. Yeah, he runs wide now. They make it 3 wide there. It looks like Andrew's defended off the run from Caesar. He's going to take the outside line through turn 4 with the hope of getting the drive. He's going to cut Alex's track out short there with the hope of getting the inside run through Siberia. Now he's trying to make it work, Bernie. He's trying to get the drive out. Looks like it's 50-50 at this stage, Bernie.
Yeah, well, Luke Witten's now pounced as well. He was going side by side with Caesar. He's dropped back in, but at the moment up front, Alex Artisana, Andrew Welter. So come over Lukey Heights for the final time tonight. Still anybody's race here. And I tell you what, Andrew may be in the box seat.
Yeah, it could very well be, Bernie. It depends. Neither of them looking to die. It looks like Caesar's the only one looking to make a running on the inside there of turn 10. And this is where it all happens. How far are you behind? Are you too close to take advantage of the draft, or are you too far to make it work? Just got to get that balance right. And it looks like both Caesar and Andrew are trying to get the run. It's almost like Alex is treading water there as the other two line up behind them. It's going to be very close here, Bernie. Looks like they're going to go 3 abreast across the line. One of the closest finishes you'll see all week, Bernie. And I think Caesar's got him, Bernie.
Yeah, I think you're right there. We're riding on the gyro cam. Sorry about that, folks, looking sideways, but it looks like Caesar split the deck and took that win tonight. So just having a look. I'm looking at my telemetry here. We've got Andrew Welter, Alex Artisana, both on 3,200. What's that? 0.3 of a second, and Caesar at 0. So I think Caesar might have taken it.
Yeah, I think Caesar's got that in the end, Bernie, from Andrew Welter by the look 6/100ths with Alex Artisana, who amazingly was leading that at that final corner, and he's ended up third by just over a 10th, 11/100ths, with Luke Witten hanging on after that unfortunate netcode incident with Enzo earlier on. He managed to hang on to 4th with Håkon Grevstad bringing it home in 5th, Bernie. So, what a spectacular race. This track's been a mix of popular with the regular drivers. Other people have been complaining about it, but in my mind, the popularity of this track it's a real driver's circuit. The guys that love to drive this car regularly love coming to this circuit simply because it accentuates the momentum based driving of this car, Bernie. It brings out some of the spectacular racing that we saw here tonight.
Oh, it definitely does, and we saw someone in the background there blowing their engine, as is the tradition here in Monday Night Lights. After they finish a line, we just had a look at that super slow-mo, and I tell you what, you could not split the difference between Alex and Andrew there. They were both pretty much 0.003 of a second separated the two of those, but what a drive from Caesar, coming in between both of them, cutting the deck and taking the win.
Yeah, that was spectacular. I hadn't seen that done before, Bernie. I was expecting it to be between Alex and Andrew there as they exited the final corner. It never occurred to me that the guy tucked in behind in third place in Caesar, Armengod, could split them like that and come through for the win. I bet he's cheery. I can imagine the grin spreading from ear to ear at this stage, Bernie.
Yeah, it was a very clenching move, that's all I can say. Big gritting his teeth for all they're worth.
Well, it showed a lot of skill because they were so tightly wedged nose to tail that there was every chance that there was going to be either a net code or a genuine contact and turn the one of the front cars around and into the wall or off to the outside of the track, Bernie. So easy to do because these cars, they're not like NAS cars. They don't bump draft very well, and it's very easy to turn the nose around and plough off the track, Bernie. So once again, with a 3,942 strength of field, Kevin Henderson being the surprisingly, he's certainly not the slowest driver, Bernie, but he was the lowest ranked driver here at car number 17. The quality of this field, outstanding, and the racing was spectacular as a result.
Yeah, and we're on board now with Caesar Armengod in the cockpit cam. We're going to shut up here, and so you guys can just enjoy this move for what it was, and for Caesar taking this race. My goodness me, what a move. That has to go down in the books, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe it. Like I said, I wouldn't have picked third to take it out. I was looking for 1 and 2, but what a strategy in the end, Bernie. He put the pressure on Andrew into turn 10 before they went around turns 11 and 12 to finish, and the strategy paid off. I wondered if that was in his book or he was just, going to take what he could get. So, like I said, best finish I've seen here all week, that's for sure.
Yeah, I reckon he would be licking his lips when he saw that gap open, because normally what they do is the front two sit in the middle of the track and the third guy doesn't get an option, but it looked like they just opened the door and he sort of waved on his way through. But if iRacing could have any vocals, that would have been the time we would have heard Caesar screaming down the microphone and enjoying his win here at Phillip Island.
Oh, I think you're right there, Bertie. And these cars are actually known not only to have a draft nose to tail, but a bit of a side draft. So the car overtaking on one side or the other is still known to get a bit of an aerodynamic benefit from it. So going through the middle like that, you've doubled that effect, and it's probably, almost slingshotted him. Well, it did in the end, slingshot him past the two in front. So what a spectacular finish to a fantastic race, Bernie.
Certainly was. I think the biggest risk with going with that was if that gap had closed up, it would have taken all three of them out. But fantastic end to tonight's race. But before we get to our interviews, folks, let's have a look at the final results, and we can see where your favourite driver finished tonight. So Caesar Armengod takes tonight's win. Is at 0.003 or 0.3 of a second up on Alex Ardesana in second, and Andrew Welter in third. Luke Whitten comes home in fourth position, followed by Hakon Grebstad in fifth. Tumu Vascalampi comes home in sixth. Seventh was David McDonald. Eighth, Sam Katakazinos, followed by Russell Clark in ninth. In 10th position tonight was Benjamin Soko. Coming home in 11th was Borja Zazo, followed by Ben Snell in 12th. Enzo Cantor, he comes home 13th tonight after that incident we saw earlier. Sergio Hidalgo comes home in 14th. 15th, Carlos Sainz. 16th, Kevin Henderson. And rounding out your field of 17 is Colin Sudi.
Yeah, again, not a great return, unfortunately, for Colin tonight. Hopefully we'll see him back bigger and better in weeks to come. Kevin Henderson, I don't know what ended Kevin's night, but he's finished in 16th. So, again, another unfortunate finish for him. Enzo down in 13th, not scoring any points tonight. So that I can see him down waiting for a chat, but that'll be disappointing for him. Andrew Welter, really pleased for Andrew to grab his first podium on Monday Night Lights. Luke Whitten, of course, looking to make a tilt at the championship overall, picking up great points. Sam Katagazinos, the birthday boy, he's up 8 positions from where he started and second last on the grid into 10th, matched by David McDonald, who just finished ahead of him in P7. He was also up 8 positions. The other big mover, the other one we spoke about at the start, which was Benjamin Soko, he's up to 10th. He started last night, so he's up 7 positions and a fantastic drive with Caesar, the man himself. He started in 6th position tonight and managed to make his way all the way to the front. So it shows that with good patient driving and I have to say a little bit of luck, you can get it done in the end, Bernie.
Yeah, and we're just watching Sam there with his infield antics there, folks, seeing if he could make a Skip Barber fly over the berms. He did get a little bit of air, but then he thought twice about it. But let's get to our interviews. We've got Dennis Fiedler down there as well as Enzo Cantor. I guess we should hear from Enzo first, and then we'll cross over to Dennis about probably about the lower splits.
Yeah, no worries. I'll get Enzo up now.
And,
g'day Enzo. Alex McKellar here, mate. Sorry. Welcome to the RRTV commentary booth, mate. Bit of a tough outing for you tonight. Looked like a bit of a netcode contact between you and Luke ended what was looking to be a really fantastic race.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed because yes, surely it was a leg contact, but Luke was very near in that point, and he knows very well that it's very useless to go side by side in that corner at 5 laps to go. So it took too much risks. I really didn't expect to have him inside. I was sure he would leave the throttle and sit down for trying to pass in the next straight, but he didn't, and race finished. And in the finishing corners, another driver, Bohar Zazo, took me out again, forcing his pass. So yeah, unlucky race, unlucky week in all senses.
Yeah, that's a real shame, mate. I've just noticed in the our stream chat that Borges apologised for the last incident, which is appreciated, no doubt. But yeah, tough place to poke the nose up there as you're going into the final corners here. It can compromise your run, as you say, for Luke. So yeah, and unfortunate. We looked at it briefly in replay. And it looked like there were probably 2 tyre widths between you, which is the unfortunate part of internet racing. But as you say, it's an interesting place to poke the nose, but at the same time trying to put on pressure. So unfortunately tonight, mate, you finished out of the points, but it's great to have you back, mate. I'm really pleased to see you back week in, week out, and I'll hand you back to Bernie for a bit of a chat.
Yeah, hi Enzo. Yeah, very close racing there tonight, unfortunately ending in that contact. But before that, it looked like you were having a fantastic race out there with a very high quality field.
Yes, I was confident. My little brother brake pedal is not sometimes is a bad brother, but today I was confident enough. And but in this track it's very difficult to go away because second and third and fourth car had to lose time passing each other, so this could let you go away, but they didn't, and I knew that I would fight till the end for win the race because Luke is very fast here. As I said before, I didn't expect at all that move by him, and I'm sure that if we didn't touch there, we will touch surely in the next part of the corner. Surely it will be a disaster. So really, I didn't understand. He said sorry, so no problem. But this not changed this unlucky week.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to take, I guess. But before we let you go, Enzo, as always, you want to give a shout out to all your friends, family, and sponsors for getting your car on the grid tonight.
Yes, surely. I say thanks to my sponsors, Trasmaster Mivano TRL, my team manager Fabio Mantellini, my team Mivano Racing, and all my friends.
Fantastic. Well, as always, Enzo, we love having you down here racing in the Monday lights, and hopefully we'll see you back next week, and hopefully your luck will be a bit better.
I hope.
All right, good night, good afternoon. Have a nice lunch, I guess.
Thank you. Good night to you.
So, folks, that was Enzo Cantor, and you could tell he was quite disappointed about that outcome, Alex. But to me, it looked like there was quite a bit of netcode involved in that incident.
Yeah, I agree. The netcode was obviously there, but I hadn't really considered Enzo's point of view, or at least the points that he made there. That coming through turn 11 there, there's probably not a lot to be gained from poking the nose up there and risking that incidental contact like that. I can't speak for what was in the mind of Luke there, other than trying to maybe upset Enzo's line through the final corner and get a bigger run or a bigger advantage up the Gardner Straight. But Enzo sounded resoundingly disappointed there, which you can understand. He was on for a great result in a great field, so disappointing way to end your night. But once again, a big part of racing on the internet.
Yeah, exactly right. We were just talking about that earlier, weren't we? It's like I open my mouth and then it happens. So
the commentator's curse, right?
I was just getting, that feeling you get. You're watching how close these guys are racing, and you're thinking, man, they're cutting it pretty close, and they were. And unfortunately, there was an incident, but it didn't take away from that amazing finish. But let's bring Dennis up anyway and find out how he went. He was in the second split tonight, I think.
Yeah, I know he'd worked very hard too to get into the top split this week, so it'd be a bit of a bummer for him, but I'll get him up and we'll have a chat. G'day, Dennis. Alex McKellar here, mate. Welcome to the commentary booth once again. I was just saying then, I know you've worked very hard this week to get back into the top split. Dare I ask what car number you were in the second split?
Car number 1, Alex.
Oh, no. For those of you who don't know, the car numbers you're attributed in a race are based on your I rating, and the I rating that you bring into a race, which is your skill points, are determine which split you end up in. So car number 1 means that essentially Dennis would have been car number 18 in our top split, but of course there are only 17 cars in the top split tonight. So I think that's the second week in this season that's happened, Dennis.
Third week, mate.
Third week. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
That's all right. But what's even worse about that is that not the last race I lost 90 I rating, and before then I was 31.99 I rating, and I think that would have put me out of Kevin Anderson.
Yeah, it would have, mate. It would have just pipped him out because Kevin snuck in just ahead of you. Now, one thing I did want to ask you about is the spectacular livery that we saw on display tonight. There was a lot of love out there for RRTV. Did you have a part to play in that?
Look, Alex, I think there's a lot of us that really love what Bernie and yourself are doing for the Skippy community in Australia, and we've been tossing up whether we do this in a Super Skips or a RRTV Monday Night Lights broadcast, but it was a resounding yes, let's do it for to have a standardised livery dedicated to RRTV. And we only got the livery out today, thanks to Andrew Welter for his patent design. It was quite good. A lot of the drivers got on board. I think in all up we had 11 drivers running the livery in top and second split.
Yeah, mate. Well, I could see Andrew Welter's touch on it, but I could certainly see there was a nice bevy of or a small armada of cars on display tonight with the tribute to RRTV, mate. So on that note, I'll hand you over to Bernie because I know he was very appreciative of it.
Yeah, I tell you what, at first, Dennis, I thought the trading paints program was broken because all I could see is all these RRTVs. But seriously, no, I really appreciate the sentiment you guys put forward there, and I love the delivery. I knew who made it as soon as I saw it. It definitely had Andrew's signature all over that one. So, no, it's fantastic.
No, it was good. And if anyone wants to run the livery, it's up on Trading Paints. Just search for We Love, LUV, RRTV, and you'll be able to run your very own We Love RRTV livery.
Fantastic. And I know what our thumbnail is going to be for next week now, Alex. It's going to be the We Love RRTV livery.
Sounds like a plan. So, Dennis, how did the second split turn out for you tonight?
Look, we had a couple of fast guys in here again today. So I was car number 1, Alex J. John, number 2, and Daryl Ridley was in the session as well, but car number 7. So in quali, Daryl Ridley pepped everyone with a 1:45.6, so much faster than myself with a 1:46.1. And then we had Alex J. Starting from 5th. Oh, Stuart McFadden. He started in P3. But it was a bit of carnage on lap 1 with Mick just getting a touch from Antonio around in turn 2, and that just caused an utter chaos in the mid-pack because Mick started 4th, and everyone scampered to try and avoid the incident. Alex himself managed to narrowly get around it, but he had to take to the infield and was some 7 seconds behind the leading trio after turn 2, basically.
Yeah, well, it looks like, aside from any incidents that obviously we weren't able to see, that Daryl Ridley has taken out the race in the end with and I'm just looking at his fastest lap time, a 1:45.5, which is right up there in pace with many of the guys running the top split. So, and again, we talked about the strength of field in the top split being 3,900. Well, I can tell you that the 2,300 strength of field in the second split is a good midweek top split. So the quality's certainly there, and I'm sure it made for good racing, Dennis.
Yeah, it was good up the front. Early on, it was Daryl, Stewart, and myself sort of trading spots early on, and then I made a mistake in Siberia, which dropped me back into the clutches of Alex J. John and Jason Woolman, and we had a good old battle for most of the race. But Daryl was just far too fast and managed to break the toe from Stewart, obviously doing those 1:45s. Stewart was struggling to keep on the back there.
Yeah, also great to see young Tim Awema up there in the second split, cracking it for some good points. Car number 16 in P8. He's picked up some good iRacing and Monday Night Lights points there. Disappointingly, though, I can see Mick Gray there down in P17 at the tail of the field. Shame for Mick. I know he had a win there in the second split last week, and these high strength of fields are keeping out him as a top split regular and a real stalwart of this series into the second split, which it's a mixed blessing, these high softs, Bernie. We get really high quality racing and the action that we saw here tonight, but we also relegate some of our faithful regulars to the second split where the love for RRTV is still there so much that they're disappointed at missing out, Bernie. So I'll hand over to you, mate, for any closing questions.
I'm just amazed by the turnout tonight, guys. We had 5 splits tonight, so we had well over 82 drivers turn up for this split. So that was a fantastic effort by everyone in the community. But all I can say is the quality of driving in the top split was fantastic. Not sure what it was like in the second split, but it sounds like it was just as challenging. And it was a great night of racing here at Phillip Island.
Yeah, I really love this track, and I heard you guys talking about it. It's a real driver's track. I really do like the flow of this track. There's not many that actually reward a faultless lap as well as this track does.
Yeah, it's definitely, it'd have to be one of the best suited Australian tracks for the Skippy anyway. I know people love Bathurst, but this track just, I think, lends itself more to the style of racing that the Skip Barber's drivers are sort of used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, apart from that, Dennis, I don't know if I've got any more questions for you.
Anyone you'd like to give a shout out, mate, although there was a very loud shout to RRTV, of course.
Look, shout out to all the guys in Discord. Thanks for supporting the livery stuff today, and yeah, thanks again for everything that you guys have done over the many years of service for the broadcast of this race.
And I'd like to thank everyone that ran the livery tonight as well. I really appreciate it, and it looked fantastic out there on all the cars, although I did think Trading Paints was broken originally, and I sort of had to ask Alex if he was seeing the same thing I was. But well, there you go. It's not as bad as Mr. Katakazinos, the birthday boy, telling us that on one broadcast that Fiedler was on his roof, but it was close.
That's it. Very good. No, it was great to see the community come out as one and support both you and also this race, Bernie. It's week in, week out. It's keeps getting bigger and better, and it shows what you can do when you band together and put on what is a great event and most of all very enjoyable.
It's a fantastic event. It's the premier event with the Australian Super Skips on RRTV at the moment, and you know we've been providing support to the Skippy community since we started, and we'll continue to do so because it's a fantastic community, that's for sure. Looking at the week coming forward though, folks, we've got some GTE action coming your way this Saturday night, the 8th of July. It's going so quick. Daniel Leet, I think it's Daniel Leet, and myself, we will be on air this Saturday night, I think 10 p.m. It's pretty late, for the Sim Races Asia GTE Championship, and we're proud to announce we'll be covering that and broadcasting that exclusively on RRTV starting this Saturday night. So if you like your GTE action, tune in because it promises to be a great night of racing.
Quite a coup there for RRTV, Bernie. Not only the broadcast rights for that championship, but those cars, the GTE cars, for those of you who don't know, the new Ferrari and Ford GTE cars on the iRacing service, proving remarkably popular this their first season, Bernie. The fields that have been turning up for the IMSA category, which is the one that runs those two cars in the official season racing, they've been chock-a-block with every man and his dog racing to get their hands on the prancing horse and the big Ford there, Bernie. The racing there's been spectacular. The fields have been spectacular in that IMSA series. You get 40, 50 cars on the grid in the official races, which is not something you see terribly often. So I'd imagine, Bernie, you'll have your work cut out for you with that series, just based on the popularity alone.
Yeah, and it's going back to our roots, so to speak. People probably don't remember I got my start with Apex Racing TV, and we used to cover the V8 supercars for the Sim Races Asia, and Brenton and Alex used to cover the GT racing, so we'll be going back to that. But it's going to be exciting because we normally get the best from Australasia racing each other, and it's really hard racing. So I'm looking forward to bringing all that action to our viewers.
Yeah, certainly something from the mini open wheeler racing we see here in the skips, Bernie. Of course, the tin tops there, but what better cars to put on the touring car action than the Ferrari and the big Ford out there, Bernie? Like I said, I imagine it'll be very popular series and very full grids.
Yeah, definitely. And the other question I had, and I'm going to put this to the viewers here, if anyone can help us, we want to get these broadcasts transcribed, I guess, or what do you call it, closed captioned for various European languages like Italian, Spanish, and that, so that the drivers that are running in our series can actually share their experiences with their friends and family over there. So if anyone knows how we can do that, please give me a shout out on iRacing, and we'll see if we can sort something out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that YouTube does, because it's run by Google, of course, and Google have Google Translate. I know that they do post translation, but I know it's not brilliant either, having watched some of the Spanish viewing of racing that I've seen. It's not great. So certainly I know we get a lot of international drivers, and I mean, speaking for the field tonight, we had several Spanish-speaking drivers, including our winner and second place driver. We've got drivers from Europe and all over the world, really. So that sort of thing. If you know about it and know what might help out Bernie there, certainly reach out and get in touch.
Yeah, definitely. You never know, Alex. What we could do is we could always have different commentators from different areas, and they could be commentating in their own language. That could be good. That might work.
It could be a challenge. I can help you out a little bit with Japanese. I've got some Japanese under my belt, but we don't see many Japanese races, so I don't know what sort of an audience we'd have.
Yeah, probably not much. But anyway, folks, that pretty much ends tonight's broadcast of the race, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was a fantastic event, fantastic finish. If you've just joined us, go and look at the replay. I'm sure you'll love it. But as far as the week ahead in RRTV, keep an eye on our Facebook page, and that's just been renamed to facebook.com/RRTV Live, and you'll see all the scheduling there for the iRacing Live viewers. Thank you for joining us as well, and we'll have our upcoming broadcasts featured on there as well, so you'll be able to work out on your local time when our broadcasts will be going live. But if you miss them, come and have a look at the replays.
Yeah, that's the way to check it out. And of course, if you're looking for any action during the week as well, check out Top Split TV, which is where I do my streaming during the week. And also, if you head over to topsplit.com later in the week, I'm actually recording the latest episode of the Top Split podcast. This month's episode featuring Benny Simonson, who of course has done a few of these Monday Night Lights events. I'll be talking to Benny this week and posting that episode hopefully by the weekend. Benny's a former Le Mans category winner, as in the real one. Funnily enough, he drove a Ferrari there to take out that event in his category, Bernie, and looking to ask Benny about the differences between racing on a real track and iRacing, and what's the appeal of iRacing for a professional racing car driver, Bernie. So hopefully there'll be some interesting things come out of that, and stay tuned, thetopsplit.com for the Top Split podcast.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to go and subscribe to that now. So I've worked out I can do that on my phone, and it magically downloads it or something crazy. But anyway, folks, also check out Alex as well. He's going to be doing a little bit of trucking soon. So if you like your convoys, get out your straw hats and let's go.
Bit of fun in the old Euro truck driver too. Something different. Quite a bit of a chillax after the intensity of the Skippy races, Bertie.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about broadcasting Crash Bandicoot, but I don't know if anyone would actually watch that.
I don't know that there's much of an audience for that, Bertie.
Well, if you want to watch Crash Bandicoot, folks, let me know and I'll stream it. No worries. All right, but on that note, folks, thank you for everyone who turned up to watch tonight. Big thank you to the community for running that livery. I really did feel touched by the sentiment of that, and we definitely look forward to having your company this Saturday night. But until then, folks, on behalf of Alex McKellar, I'm Bernie Weemers. We hope you've had a good night tonight, and we wish you well for the rest of the working week. Good night.